I don't know if I would be so confident as to be able to say that there's a linear progression from caveman to us. I don't think that's true.
No, hardly anything in the natural world is linear.
Which just scares me if we fuck it all up right now and you have a nuclear war and there's only like 50,000 people left. Like, how long before we get to this position where we're trying to almost get past this again?
Yeah. It's like it's rough adolescence.
Yeah.
And so it's true. How long do you need to take? Do you need...
Hey everyone, today we are breaking down a fascinating segment from Joe Rogan where he explores the concept of ultra-terrestrials. Joe often questions the traditional narrative of aliens coming from other planets, suggesting instead that they might be interdimensional beings right here on Earth. Let's analyze the logic behind this idea and what Joe's curiosity tells us about the limits of our current scientific understanding.
100,000 years of a high technology society, maybe. Well,
Right.
where are we? Well, like 20 years, 50 years
Yeah.
into it, and we're having a problem.
Well, that's where things get really weird when people start talking about UAPs and these whatever these beings are, if they are real. Like, are they us? Are they us from the future that is coming back to make sure that we don't fuck it up and to sort of hold our hand through this experiment and just watch and observe on the outside in case things go horribly wrong, but allow all these mistakes to take place and allow this progression to take place and just wait it out?
I'm a fan of Hal Puthoff's ultra-terrestrial idea, that these are not from the future, they're from the past. They just happen to be way more advanced than we thought.
The past?
Yeah.
Like how far in the past?
1 million years, more, 100,000, something like that. It's because you think about convergent evolution. So when I was at UNLV, one of the places nearby was a ornithology laboratory, so birds. So I went to the museum and I said, "Oh, these are very nice penguins here." And the director said, "Those aren't penguins." "Well, what is that? It looks exactly like a penguin." "No, those are auks." So there's different birds from the North Pole and the South Pole because of convergent evolution were shaped to be like this bird. And so, I mean, they looked absolutely identical to me because I don't know that much about penguins anyway. But I said, "It looks like a penguin. It's not a penguin. It
They
is not."
evolved independently in the
Yes.
North and South. Wow.
And so why is it that the aliens that we...
That's not a penguin?
It's
Whoa.
probably an auk.
That's crazy.
I know, it's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So we had one of those and had actually a penguin next to each other in the museum. And I thought, well, what is that?
Wow.
So a lot of these aliens that people talk about are basically like humans.
Auks can fly and swim, and they're smaller.
Yeah.
Wow. But they're so similar. Even the color.
Yeah, the color, the shape.
The color is crazy.
Joe's interest in this hypothesis highlights his skepticism toward mainstream explanations. By shifting the focus from outer space to other dimensions, the conversation moves away from physics and into metaphysics. Joe often points out that our current tools may not be capable of detecting these beings, which is why hard evidence is so scarce. This perspective encourages viewers to keep an open mind about realities that exist beyond our
Like, what is the benefit of the whole thing is very odd.
So why do we have so-called Nordic aliens that look a lot like people in Scandinavia?
Right.
But do you think either come from a planet that is almost exactly Earth-like, which is possible, I guess, or they've already been here. They've been here a long, long time. And the same for many of the other aliens that people talk about. They're humanoid.
Right.
Well, humanoid is shaped for evolution to be in a certain place. Because we're so well shaped by evolution that we can go outside on an average place, and even though there's only a couple of miles of atmosphere, we're perfectly fine.
Are you aware of those examples of very bizarre heads that they found, skulls they found in places like Peru that don't have the sagittal suture, that have a brain capacity that's 30% larger than ours? There's some weird skeletons.
Yeah, so Gary Nolan talked about this, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. and there's real examples of it. These aren't theoretical. Like, you can find these skulls that have a larger brain capacity. And, they've attributed to a real practice of flattening heads,
Right.
of shaping skulls. That's a real practice. But the question has become, did that real practice emerge to mimic a type of creature that already existed?
Yep.
Because these skulls, see if you can find one of them, Jamie. They're very weird looking. Like, they're very weird. They're big. They're bigger than a normal human skull. They have more brain capacity, and it's an elongated shape. It's a different shape. This is not like a science fiction theory. This is not like an artist's rendition. This is an actual real skull that doesn't have the sagittal suture. No. That's the alien things. That's those monstrat. That's that thing that a lot of people think is a fraud.
That's the skulls they were talking about, no?
Yeah. But there's actually elongated skulls that they found. Just don't pull in tridactyl mummy.
I'm erasing.
Just put in elongated skull, no sagittal suture. There you go. Like that. That one right there. Like, what the fuck is that? That does not look like a person. That is a real skull.
One of the most interesting creative things is that there are a lot of good things about consciousness that are all about love and pain. He suggests that these experiences are not just hallucinations, but potentially real interactions with a different layer of reality. Joe's willingness to entertain the idea that mind and matter are connected shows his holistic approach to these mysteries. He challenges the rigid materialist view, arguing that dismissing subjective experience ignores a huge part of the human encounter with the unknown.
Yeah, so some of that is shaping,
Sure.
right?
Some of it. Some of these are, but the ones without the sagittal suture are really weird.
Yeah.
Because that's a thing that all human babies have, because as your brain grows and your head grows, your brain, your skull is kind of malleable.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't have it. And some of these that they found actually have more brain capacity. So the shaping of it wouldn't change the brain capacity. So some of them do have that sagittal crest, that sagittal suture. Some of them don't. And that one that you showed up there, I hope that's not AI. That one doesn't. And I think that's real.
Could just be hard to see.
Could be. Could be, but it's been described by people who have examined them as being different. There's also the positioning of where it connects with the spine is different. Oh, Sarah, that goes right there. Where the spinal column enters the bottom of the skull is very much further back than normal. A genetic adaptation or a different kind of person.
Yeah.
A different kind of person that coexisted. Like, look at that one right there, Jamie, that you have your cursor on. Click on that. That's crazy. Like, that is really crazy.
That's a replica.
Yeah.
Wild looking.
But
That's a replica. So what's the real one? The real one is the one that you showed that has Instagram on it. That's a real one. That is kind of bananas.
Yeah.
And if that's not done through forming of the skull and pushing the skull into the new shape, what is it? And were they doing that because they were trying to mimic something that was superior to them? And that's where it gets weird. Like that, those real elongated skulls, Inca Museum up there, right above your cursor. Yeah, to the left, right there. That's crazy looking, man. That's really crazy looking. And again, that one doesn't seem to have that sagittal suture. Neither does that one down there that says 118. They're fucking strange. So if that was an actual different kind of human being that existed along with us, God, that explains a lot.
well, they're not here anymore.
Right.
And unless they're ultra-terrestrials and are living in the bottom of the ocean.
Right. I don't know about that. But if that's them, who knows? I mean, you could get to a point where a civilization becomes so advanced that the biological entities aren't necessary anymore.
Joe often draws parallels between modern UFO sightings and ancient folklore, noting that the behavior of these entities remains consistent throughout history. He points out that while the terminology changes from demons to aliens, a core phenomenon does not. This historical consistency is a key point for Joe, as it suggests that these are not random events, but a persistent feature of human existence. His analysis reminds us that our current technological lens may just be the latest way we interpret age-old mysteries.
And that would explain why they could exist at the bottom of the ocean, why they could exist with no oxygen, why they no longer become dependent upon their environment to survive.
They might have creative environments.
Right.
It's like the movie. There was a movie. I forget the name now.
What was the premise?
It was that there's a ship and there's like a missing submarine, and so they dive down to it, but then they see lights coming up.
Oh, The Abyss?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah. Well, there's always been stories about. I mean, Tim Burchett, the congressman, came on this podcast and was talking about how there's 5 different locations in the deep ocean that they're aware of activity, that things have happened there. They continue to happen. But if you were going to study Earth, if you had to be like local, like where would you go? I mean, if you can come here from another dimension, another galaxy, or wherever you're coming from, you'd probably go in the ocean. You'd have they've observed these transmedium crafts that are able to fly and go into the water. Isn't that auk thing? Isn't that kind of transmedium? It flies, it swims.
Yeah. It could be an alien. It's an alien form of a penguin.
But it just, at a certain point in time, you would imagine if we could get far more advanced than we are now, and we found out about a society that is at a stage where we are currently, for sure we would go visit. For sure we would observe. And we would also probably try to stop nuclear war.
It is an interesting question because the prime directive in Star Trek is you don't mess with them.
Right.
Right? But they always do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Star Trek they didn't even have the internet. They had walkie-talkies. Kirk out. Remember
they had
that thing?
they had the communicator thing. So we
you're
don't know.
talking about the next generation.
Yeah, we don't know how that worked.
Yeah, I'm talking about the original.
Yeah, no, the original is pretty good though.
Really good.
Yeah.
Especially when you think about it was like the 60s when
Yeah.
it came out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So part of my personal mission was to make Star Trek real. That's like it's
Including beaming people up?
no, it's like the Vulcan, the most rational creature on there was the one who could do the mind meld.
Yes.
That's why I was thinking,
Yeah.
okay, an advanced species, this stuff is taken for granted.
Right.
Joe Rogan's exploration of ultra-terrestrials shows his commitment to asking difficult questions without settling for easy answers. Whether you agree with the theory or not, his approach encourages critical thinking and open-mindedness. What do you think? Is Joe right to look beyond traditional alien theories? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like and subscribe for more honest analysis of JRE clips. See you in the next one.